welcome to Cinephile Entertainment. I'm a Cinephile critic and today I'll be reviewing this movie. He kills people so that you can be a mailman. The Predator. So The Predator is a film directed by Shane Black and stars Olivia Nunn as Cassie, Boyd Holbrook as Quinn, Keegan Michael Key as Cole, Trevent Root as Gaylord or Nebraska, Sterling K. Brown as Trigger, and Alfie Allen as Lynch. Predator. So what you have is, on Predator's world, a predator that has gone rogue, and you have a tracker that is there to try and track down the rogue predator. So the rogue predator enters Earth's atmosphere and is there because the predator from his world, they are evolving and they have plans. And so the rogue predator is there to try and give humans a way of dealing with a predator invasion if that ever comes to fruition. The rogue predator enters Earth's atmosphere, lands in the jungle. A few military men seize it. Most of the military men don't make it. Some do. The ones that do make it, the government tracks them down and tries to discredit them and make them go away. We have Olivia Nunn's character, Casey. She is a scientist, so the government calls on her to analyze parts of the predator's armors and also DNA. She does that, but as she does that, there's the government cover-up. So what the government tries to do is discredit whoever was there, cover up what had happened in the jungles of Mexico. But as the government is covering up what had happened and sending the people who witnessed it away, the predator comes on the scene, causes chaos. And so what this movie is them trying to hunt down the predator and kill it. So that's kind of like what the story is. And on this bus, you have the misfit, people who were in some kind of military service. They have been branded dangerous to others and themselves. Basically, the government's cover-up. That's who are on these buses. When the predator does come, this group of people that are on the bus, they are the ones to basically arm themselves and start trying to fight back. This film does what a lot of films struggle to do. And it's not even just film. You get it in TV shows. You also get it in books as well. So there's quite a few media outlets that struggle with this one thing that this film does get right. And that is tone. From the beginning till the end, I think that this film is just action-packed. The story is very minimum. It's very easy to follow. It's not convoluted. It's not overly saturated. It's not filled with all of this science jargon or, military jargon. It's basic, stripped back, and to the point. And so because of that, the tone in this film really works. And what kind of helps with the tone is the way how it's edited. The fast-paced edits work in this film, and also the way how the story is written, because there's not really any downtime in this movie. I mean, when you do have downtime, it's not necessarily people are chilling or they're trying to figure out what's just happened. It's more of, they come together, they are in some ways trying to figure out what's happened, but with that, they are also pushing the story forward. So it's like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. You guys need to go here. I'm going to go there. You two go over there. And so because of that, the story keeps on moving forward. It doesn't really slow down. So you have this really fast-paced, charismatic, quite masculine, badass tone that runs through the movie. To me personally, it works well and I like it. These characters, for the most part, they are badass. It's not a film that is politically correct, especially in this area of femininity. So also very funny. There's a lot of comedic elements to this film, and also I feel that the casting crew, the individual personalities of each of the characters that are the soldiers in this film, as well as Olivia Munn's character, she is just as badass as any of these guys. Each of the characters have their own unique quirk, has their own characteristic and charms and a unique person in that film. So because of all the military guys, you have all these types of personality. Their personality is all different, but when they are as a collective, it works. And so when they go off in their separate ways, it also works as well because they gel together, but they are also individuals. I love love Olivia's character, Cassie. I thought that she was the right type of woman to be in this film, because this film is a masculine film. If you have a woman in this film, she has to also be able to go with the punches, run around, slip in mud, be like, okay, cool. And Olivia brought so much to her character. She was probably one of my favorite characters in this film. The way how she portrayed Cassie, she just held her own against all of this, male energy. And I would say that the males in this film, they all have different personality and they all work very well. And I like the whole banter that came between the characters on screen. I think Jacob Tremblay done a fantastic job as the son of Quinn. Kind of did like the rogue predator. I wish I saw more of the rogue predator in this film, but I love the way how the predators were badass. You understand why they are feared. When they were on screen, they were entertaining to watch. It was very engrossing, along with the action. I was just having fun watching this film. Now, one of the issues I have with this film is not necessarily the story. I thought that the story, because of the type of action film that they were going for, the fact that it was straight to the point, it wasn't wriggled with science jargon or military jargon. It was easy to follow, very simple, a basic story, and it worked for this film. But some of the story is annoying because some parts of the narrative is too basic. And that is one of the things I have with this film. Predator's films have been on our screen for about a decade, maybe probably more than a decade. I can't remember when the first Predator film came out. I know one of the subscribers or audience that is watching is probably going to type it down below, and thank you for that if you do. And I just think that if they know about predators, if they have come to Earth before and they have parts of their technology, parts of their DNA and all that sort of stuff, I don't understand why they haven't even attempted to make any types of weapons that can at least give the human race a chance to survive. And I feel that the progression in terms of science and weaponry is non-existent, and that's therefore I cannot forgive the story for being too basic in that way. The other thing that annoys me, this is one of my pet peeves about guns are lazy in films. I will say it again, guns are lazy in film. I've reached a point now where I need more than gun in a film. It gets extremely annoying when you have a situation where guns don't work and they still insist on using them. What part of the world does that make sense? And this is one of the lazy writings that come up often in films. You have it in Kingsman 2, you have it in superhero films. Like, it was such a breath of fresh air when I was watching Logan and they were shooting at the little girl. The guy just literally turns to the gunman and say, "Why are you shooting? She is bulletproof." And this is the issue that I have with these films that insist on using guns and they know they don't work. Like, can you please do something else? Make a better weapon. Make a weapon that can actually work. But I'm tired of seeing guns in a film. All you hear is gun mechanic and it's not even denting their armor. That's one of my issues with that film, is where it comes to the gun situation and why they haven't increased their awareness or their technology and weaponry due to them having some type of understanding about the predators and trying to, combat that in the future to, bring a weapon that can at least do something, because obviously the predator weapon against humans is very effective. Having said that, this film is just fun. It's fun. It's a fun film. It's one of those films, the larger the group is, probably the better the experience is. It's going to get you hyped. The banter is fun. The dialogue is fun. For the most part, this film is just fun. It's badass. And I appreciate Shane Black for directing the film, for the most part, in the way he did. There's a few things that I would love for him to change, even though certain parts of the story I felt was a bit cheap and lazy. Personally, I just think that this is just a really fun action piece. And I feel whoever, you know, goes and sees this film, if you are into action, you're going to have a great time. And I personally definitely had a great time. And that's why I'm going to rate this film as I for intriguing, because I feel that there's a bit more fun in this film. It's more badassery. I really enjoyed myself in this film. I just think that if there were certain things that would just tighten up a bit, I would have given it a higher score. But what they do, how they do it, for the most part, I did like it. So have you seen this film? What's your favorite Predator film? Let's get this conversation started. I would love to know what you guys watch. And thank you for watching my review. If you liked what you saw, then please subscribe if you're thinking, I'll come back and check you out again. Not yet, I'll just come back. Then hopefully I will see you again. And remember, until next time, keep safe. Bye.